Welcome to the SharePoint Relational tab's advanced demonstration. What we're going to be having a look at here is a number of lists, a number of standard pieces of SharePoint functionality, all being joined together using SharePoint Relational tabs as the glue in the middle. I've got a small solution that I've pulled together here, and I'm using, amongst other things, lists, document libraries, tasks, calendars, contacts, discussion boards, issue tracking lists, picture libraries, announcements, and links, all joined together in one solution. And have a look at just how cohesive this really is. Let's start off with customers, and I'll talk through the relationships and how they look as I go. So here's a set of customers. I'm going to add a new customer. Call him Smith, Jeff Smith, and the company is company HHH. Hit save on that. Now you can see a number of tabs listed up at the top. We've got additional contacts, complaints, discussions, documents, factory photographs, and orders, all related to Smith. Let's start off with additional contacts. So for this customer, you can imagine the situation. Normally, if you have a customer, you've got the customer details about the company, but let's say you have 3 or 4 additional contacts you regularly deal with within that one customer. Now, using SharePoint Relational tabs, I can easily hook in an additional contacts list and bind it to this one, and you can add additional contacts, related contacts, as easily as this. Peter Georgeson. I'll say save, and I can add another one if I wanted to, but you can see now, if I go out here, I can click straight back in, and this person is related now to company HHH. Let's have a look at the next one here. I've got an issue tracking list that I've hooked into customers as well. If I add a new complaint, the complaint can be, let's call it a complaint about shipping costs, for example. So every time, for example, this customer complained about something, we've got a way now that we can very easily and very quickly log it against this particular customer. It's easy to log and easy to find. You could assign that to a particular person if you wanted to. You can add additional ones. Let's close that. And again, you can see you can go back in here, and there it is. Let's have a look at discussions. You could raise a new discussion about this particular customer. How are you guys finding this customer? Any thoughts or issues? And that's logged back to this particular customer. Documents. I've hooked in a document library to this customer. Automatically, this document is now tied to this customer. So straight away, you can just come in, open customers, and you can open any of these details you like. They're all available. Photographs. As a sample. Have that dropped in. Say save. And there we go. Add another one, just because we're here. I'll say save, and you can see actually we have a very neat way now of going and viewing some related photograph information about a particular, well, entity, any kind of entity you can think of. Let's close that. Let's say we wanted to hook in an order system that's also bound to this customer. So a person could open up Mr. Smith from company HHH. Yes. Okay, you'd like to place an order? Sure. What would you like? First off, just make a note of what the scheduled delivery date is, and order by phone. You'll see I hit save and it's automatically taken me to the detail record in view mode, so I can straight away go and click additional line items. So toys, 121 frisbees. Other, and we want 5 cups. And that's that. There's our related order, delivery date, when it was created. We can close that down. And we'll close that as well. Now we had a look up in there, in the order line items, to a list called products. Let's go and have a look at the products. We open up the products list. You can see we've got a number of things tied in here as well. So for every product, we can add a product event. Say internal review of product. Make this an all-day event. Yeah. Fine. Related to any product, you can add a task. Let's say you're going to use this as your tool in order to track things that need to be done with this product in terms of design, meetings, anything like that. So review final document. You can assign it to a person if you want to, give it a due date. You get your standard task functionality that you're used to in SharePoint. We'll close that. Let's add an announcement related to this particular product. Again, this is just an announcements list bound to this product, but you'll see how we're going to use that in a second. I've got this announcement list also placed on the home page of the site. So it doesn't matter which product you add announcements to, they're all going to be shown on the home page related to each product. Okay, so let's say there's a great review from press. This is excellent. And we'll expire then. Okay, just while we're there, we'll come right back to the product in 1 second. Come into the home page. Product announcement is here. We've got our meeting, all product tasks that have been allocated. You can see they're here, and again, these are just standard views. You can go and filter them by product if you want to, or by only those that are assigned to yourself. So you can have a standard dashboard here in seconds, literally. One last one, I've added in a link library, so you can go and add in any URLs that you want just marked against this particular product. Any perhaps white papers, reference material, anything like that. So again, it can all be somesite.com. Useful white paper. Let's make that something meaningful. Handy for research. And there it is. Now you can see all of this great additional functionality that's added so easily. What's important to note is that we're not removing SharePoint functionality. If you have a look at product events, for example, we can go in here. This is just a standard list. Just because it was bound to products within SRT, this doesn't mean you can't work with it and create your own views as is. As you can see here, just for interest's sake, if I go and create a new event here, and it's not in the context of the product, you'll see the page will display exactly as it has before, and you can go and select your related product. So you're not getting tied down to how SRT does things just because you've decided you want to use SharePoint Relational tabs in a certain place. In the same way, you can see I've got customer complaints listed here, grouped by customer, and everything you see here was achieved purely by opening SharePoint Relational tabs configuration page. Once you've added your relationships between all of your lists, it's achieved purely by going and ticking this little box, activate SRT for each of these relationships. Ticking the boxes where you want the form to maximize on open, ticking the boxes for the relationship where you want it to redirect directly to the child after adding instead of going back to the list, and selecting your view that you want to use when you open it up in a tab on the right hand side. Once you've added your lookups, it's seconds to configure. It's as simple as that. To demonstrate just how quick and easy it is, let's go ahead and extend the additional contacts list, and let's say we want to store some notes. More options that don't display on the quick launch. So we've created our list. Let's create our lookup. Related person. This is a lookup. To additional customer contacts. Use the ID. Say OK. Let's go to SharePoint Relational tabs. Here's our additional item. We'll leave the other settings for now. We'll just say save. There we go. And now we're going to have an additional tab on this form. So I've gone in. Let's go to additional contacts. Add a new person. Speed things up a bit. Let's open this person, and here are our notes. Now we can add notes straight in. It's as easy as that. Okay. If you have any questions at all for us, any queries, we'd love to hear from you. info@encodesoftware.com.